if I take a picture of you somewhere in the hall, I'll take the picture when you see me do it and you want to pose with your buddy. I'll take that picture. That's the one. This is not the one I'm going to use. It's the one you didn't see me take. It's the one of you interacting, having that energy to show, right? So the big picture, before you make that ad, tell a story. Every one of your posts has a story. Does anybody's post do anything worthwhile? Nobody? I see one. Two people do it. 3 people do worthwhile things. So the rest of you need to tell their stories and become their stories. And what that comes down to is I always ask a couple of things when I do membership workshops, and this is a blend of technology and membership. And if you hesitate to answer or you answer no, you need to rethink. You need to rethink your post before you spend any time or money on advertising. Number 1, is our community better because My American Legion post exists?
Yeah.
If you can't say yes, or you hesitated, go back and fix that. Number 2, is every veteran I come in contact with a candidate to have their life enhanced by membership in the American Legion? Yeah. If you had to pause, you had to say no, you need to go back and fix that. Because that's the reality of what gets members. It's not, do we have a logo or a brand? That's why we can't get members. Or every person's pet peeve, I know it's their pet peeve because they end the sentence with, that's why we can't get new members. But that's not the reality. That's the story you're choosing to tell people. If you say that out loud to people, that, first of all, you joined. You joined and you stay. So saying that something that you don't like is the reason why people wouldn't join means that you're doing something you hate. That's weird. So the story that you're choosing to tell kind of dictates the narrative and how it's being received by others. I would never tell that story. I only tell positive stories. I tell positive stories about the volunteerism that we do. I tell positive stories about the way we thrived through the COVID virus. I tell positive stories about even my own personal experience. I personally experienced the camaraderie and the love that this organization gives to its fellow members. You can tell that story in pictures that you put on Instagram and that you put on Facebook. Now the reality with Facebook and Instagram is they're there to make money. You can put it up there, the algorithm will show it, not to all of your friends by the way, it'll show it to your friends. If your friends then like and comment on it, you're tweaking the algorithm in real time, and it will then show up on more people's pages. But then you're on the phone telling people, could you go like my comment? And that can too be weird. And it's also not likely that they're going to take that call very often. So if you don't want to be blocked, don't do that. It hurts feelings, I can tell you. So the cool thing about Facebook and why it was married with membership for this session, it's the same reason why I'm making assumptions. Who thinks Facebook is creepy? Have you ever shopped for something in a store and had ads for that show up?
Yeah.
I didn't type in a search. How the hell they do that? It's creepy. But the reason why it's creepy is the reason why it's brilliant for us. I can search for left-handed, nearsighted veterans that live within 5 miles of my house and their address ends in an odd number. I can probably get that specific. And it costs me pennies. The ROI is paid for with one membership. So, when you're telling these stories, remember the stories we told at the beginning of this. Now you have to get it out to the people. You can put it on Facebook and some of your friends will see it, but some of your friends already know you're in the American Legion and they already think that it's at least a thing that you don't hate, so it's probably pretty good. But to get it out there, you have to advertise, you have to boost that post. That requires an investment. I saw you Twitch. That means money, I know. but it's not a lot of money. When we have a big event and when I want people in the area to come by, I will literally put $20. At the most I've ever put $50. And I mean, you're getting tens of thousands of impressions for that money. Think of a billboard. Costs a lot more than $20. Costs a lot more than $50. And how do you know how many people read it? You don't. Facebook can tell you how many clicks you got, who clicked it, and you're getting your return on investment in real time. Actually, about a half-hour delay. So you can see how effective that advertising is. You can run 2 ads, what we call A/B comparison. And you can see which ad performs better, and your risk, it can literally be as low as $1. I would probably do $5 so that you have an adequate data pool. And if any of you think that $5 is too much of a risk, Henry will pay for it for you. She's very generous. I said that because he's on his phone. Take it. All right. So if you put that information out there and you boost it, you have to be ready, because people will want to contact you. And we talk about, and we skip the gun all the time about me telling you that those options are available and how you need to tell the story and all of that, but we always skip the step that you need to be prepared. It's like when I used to do IT security. Yes, I was a nerd, and yes, I used to have a job. And I would go in and I would do all this stuff on their computers, and then I would look at their front door that I could unlock with a real strong hand turn. I mean, it doesn't do you any good to have great software on your computer if I can blow your door down like the 3 little pigs. Well, the pigs didn't blow the door down, right? The wolf did. If I could wolf blow your door down, it doesn't matter how secure your network is. So I'm taking a piece of equipment physically off the network. So if you're not ready, having all these people contact you or try to contact you is a waste of time and money. I don't care if it's $20. I don't want to waste your time or money. So you need to be prepared. Is your Find a Legion post up to date? Is it a number there, or is it for a commander from 3 years ago, their email address? Commander Jeff 24A at yahoo.com. That guy is no longer there. That address is no longer valid. Is the phone number still active? These are low-tech things you need to do before you get into high-tech solutions. What's your post look like when they stop by? Has the grass been cut? Does it need a fresh coat of paint? Great volunteer opportunity for people, especially the young people that you seem to be looking for. The first picture I have of the American Legion was my post getting ready to go through a renovation. It's a great story picture, by the way. It's me standing there like I'm on a fire hero commercial. Got the goggles covered with dust, sledgehammer in my hand, because we did our own reno to save a couple bucks. We knocked down the walls ourselves. I did that within a month of joining the Legion. They got me in there and said, "This is kind of cool. And it's not immediate." And I got to do something, got something that has to be real. My therapist appreciated that. I don't know if therapist is probably a Tinder date. So it's what you do to prepare for the onslaught that you're going to get when you do this right. So you got your post prepared. You're ready for them to be able to contact you. Do you have people whose front of mind is paying attention to new people coming in and making sure they're welcomed and said hello to? Because I hear that complaint all the time. That post wasn't welcoming to me. I will never, ever walk into another American Legion post again. Make sure that doesn't happen. That's low tech. And when you get all that together, now you're creating situations, you're creating scenarios with stories that need to be told. You're telling stories of volunteerism that your post does. Do you do that? You're telling stories of hanging out together as an organization. Does your post do that? Get that camaraderie? You're telling stories about how you're doing the 4 pillars without saying the 4 pillars, because nobody knows what that means unless you're in the organization. You tell specifically what you do. Yeah, we have to say that, it's really important in the organization to support children and youth. So we do the orator contest. That's, the name says what it is. We do boys in our auxiliary does girls state, creating mock government prepares them for life and future, and making sure our country doesn't implode when you get older. Probably a benefit for you. So you have all of these things that you can tell these stories about that then go back to your pitch that you're going to say, right? So you're getting that, now you get that information out there to the right people. Do you know who you want in your posts? Do any of you actually know who you want in your posts? Do you have a target market?
Anybody.
Warm bodies.
That's unfortunately that's not a search criteria in Facebook right now. We'll just take anybody. But you can be very broad with it. But if you're in a populous place like I am, if I got very broad with it, the numbers would get ridiculous.
In our case, we're very rural.
Very rural?
Very rural.
You could literally just say you want veterans within so many miles of an address. And so people who identify as veterans within a certain mile, they're on there, that will show up in their feed. And it's very, and I didn't waste a lot of time doing the actual tactile process of doing that because it's easy. If you're posting on these platforms, there's a boost post button. They make it very easy to take your money. They're not going to make that difficult. It's not written in hieroglyphics. It's right there. You might even accidentally do it. Watch your wallet. Because that's what they're there for. But you can take advantage of that because if you know who you want, and it could be anybody, it could be everybody. If you know who you want, you can get to them for pennies. Now, is there a post who can't afford a $20 campaign for a big event that they're doing? Anybody? I mean, my post is in heavy debt and we can do it. So I know you can do it. I would challenge you to do this. You are at a place where people love the American Legion, and they love the mission, and they love each other. Get some photos here that tell the story. Before you even leave here, put that picture out there, and your caption, summarize the story that you think that picture tells. Legionnaires coming together, saving the freaking world with the capes that we gave ourselves. If you do that, they may laugh at you, they may think you're ridiculous, but they'll get what you're trying to say. You're at a convention figuring out how to do the good things that you do better. And you're using the technology to broadcast that out there, and that says to them, we need and want you to join this fight with us. Because less than 1% serve, right? So it's a big country to save. We aren't here just for veterans. We're here for community, nation, future veterans, with children and youth, taking care of those who gave a little, honoring those who gave it all. And we need people in this fight. And I'm sorry if I disagree with anyone who may have told you, you just got to start knocking on doors. By the way, I'm not doing that in LA. This will be the last convention you can see me at. So you can virtually knock on their in-mock store, let's say that. But you need to have a beautiful crafted message about what it is that you want to say about your post and what you do. And here, for instance, you can talk about what your personal experiences at the convention, what you're getting out of it, and how you're how you're here for the people back home. You're here sucking up all this information, all these resources and tools and comrades that you can brain trust with, and you're taking it back to your rural community. How can you get that many perspectives on how to do things? How to do things when you're at home? You got it from here. That's a story for you to tell. You can take a picture with this person right here. Do you know each other?
No, when
You wouldn't have known each other if you didn't come to convention. And now that you're best friends because I declared it so, you can say that you met this person and you picked up this perspective from her. Thank you very much. And now my post in Montana is better for it. It's a simple. There's stories everywhere. But don't just take a picture that looks good and throw it out there. Where am I at time? I'm about to go deep. I have 10 minutes left? 7. All right, because do people have questions? Okay, so I'll finish in like a minute. So take the overall, think of it as an overall process. It's not about just clicking the button and paying for it. Number one, you need to be ready. Because there's nothing worse than bringing someone in, enticing someone to come to you, and your people aren't ready to welcome them. They don't know how, they can't call you, they can't email you. That's a sad situation. You're teasing people. That's not awesome. So if you're prepared, you need to figure out why we're here. We're here because we aren't connecting with enough. We aren't connecting with enough veterans. I don't necessarily always believe we have a membership problem that reeks of we need more money. I think of it as we're not connecting with enough veterans. Therefore, because you answered the question, we are not enhancing the lives of enough of our brothers and sisters. And we're doing a disservice to our community. If that's your why, I bet you can find more and more stories that fulfill that. Then we need more members. We need younger members. They don't care. They're in this for something they care about. And I don't care how you tell it, whether you're knocking down their door or doing it online. They have to care. So if you're prepared, you've got your why, you're telling a story, right? And then you're broadcasting it. So this time that we're here talking about a way to broadcast it, I thought was doing you disservice by I was going to ask them to live screen up here, and I was going to post a picture and do a boost, and you would have all fell asleep and not gotten anything out of it. And you wouldn't have understood how it really connects to the membership in your post. That's what it's about. You have to use technology, not lean on it. So it's just another way of telling your story, and I'm going to stop there. All right.